Welcome back, you Misophonia having legends. Welcome back to my channel and my Misophonia series. Today I'm going to be talking about what it feels like to have a Misophonia attack. And yes, I call it an attack because that's what it feels like. Foreshadowing. I actually figured out that when you have misophonia, you are called misophonic. Have you heard that before? I didn't know there was an actual word for us. Lucky us. And if you think I'm being dramatic or anything, stick around for some thoughts afterwards. All right. So the reason I want to make this video is I've never heard it described as it actually feels. I've heard a lot of words like hatred of sounds, uncomfortable, fight or flight reflex. It's normally described as your body or mind negatively reacting to a sound. Now that sounds very simple and straightforward and like someone's just being annoying and picky about noises. A lot of people have told me, I have misophonia too. I can't stand when I hear chewing, once in a while. And so they might understand, but a lot of people just get annoyed with certain sounds, and that's not what misophonia is. It's beyond that. And if you have severe misophonia, you understand. Let's talk about what it feels like, shall we? Okay, let's go. You're walking around all innocent, and a trigger outside of your control comes in. And I say it comes in because that's part of it. It feels like it's invasive. It's an attack. It feels like an attack. Your heart rate shoots through the roof. You start to sweat. Immediately, your body doesn't realize it's not actually being attacked by a bear. It's a little sound, and it's an overreaction that's happening, but it feels like that. That's the part. That's the thing, is your mind and your body feels as if something traumatic is happening. Some words that I use to describe what it feels like to have misophonia. Invasive, personal, violating, something happening to your body that you don't want to be happening. Shocking. It feels like someone is doing this on purpose, whether they are or not. It feels like this physical, painful, torturous tension that's building up and needs to be released. And that's why people use the term fight or flight. But when people use the words fight or flight, they don't just mean like, I got really mad and had to either like whatever or walk away. No, it's like fight, like you actually feel like you need to fight somebody or throw something, even if it's the most ridiculous little innocent noise or thing that's bothering you, triggering you, or you have to run out of there. Skedaddle, you have to get out of there. And it's out of your control. Your body doesn't know the difference between someone chewing and someone personally hunting you down. A lot of people, after they have a misophonia attack, it lingers. And that's part of the frustrating part, is you can be having a good night, one trigger happens, and it doesn't go away right away. And it's hard to get back to peace. It's hard to get your mind, heart, body, and soul back on track to where it was before the trigger happened. It sticks with you. It doesn't just go away when the sound stops. Normally, at least not for me. You feel like you need release. Some sort of physical release. Crying, running, punching, slapping. It sounds very horrible. It feels like you're being physically attacked from the inside out, and you can't do anything about it. And that's why there's this rage aspect to it. And it's really hard to describe, and maybe I'll get better at describing it as I talk to you guys in this series. Now that you know what it feels like, if you are someone who does not have misophonia, the person you love who has misophonia is not just being dramatic. Their brain really doesn't know the difference between being attacked and someone whistling or chewing gum or whatever the trigger is of the day. And it can be multiple triggers. I'm not saying you only get like one trigger a day. Anyways, you get what I'm saying. I wanted to explain today what it feels like because I've never really heard the correct terms of how I would describe it. I've never felt that validation besides just knowing that I felt the validation when I first figured out what misophonia was. I was like, yes, there's a term for it, the release. I'm not just crazy. This is an actual condition, mental, physical condition. Anyways, I've never felt the validation of really seeing people who have it as bad as I do, or who truly understand that visceral, torturous feeling that comes with it. And so I wanted to explain it to other people so that they know they're not alone. If you have really bad misophonia, you're not alone. And that's one of the biggest things I want you to know about and take away from this video. Now, if you are watching this and you are trying to understand misophonia more and you love someone who has it, just believe them. That's what I can tell you. And I don't say that lightly, because I know just believing people for all sorts of things isn't necessarily healthy. But when someone says they have misophonia and they're not trying to be offensive, but they can't handle something, it's not personal, it's real. They need help. And having said that, now, I don't necessarily think just because you have misophonia, you can boss people and tell them not to do certain things that bother you, etc. Sometimes, as unfair as it feels having misophonia, you have to be the one to remove yourself from the gatherings or the table and let people be, which is really hard. Because sometimes, like growing up, I would want to control everyone around me and say, don't do that, don't sing, don't, I can't handle this. And it just felt unfair and like I was getting attacked by all these sounds, when it's not fair to the other people either to make them comply with every trigger you have and to not do it. So often now I realize there's kind of a balance. You ask people to help you, but also you can remove yourself from the situation and just say no, like I said in my last video. And I hope you watched it. It was groundbreaking good. Now, having said that, I would suggest people look at it as a health issue, a mental health issue, but also a part physical. It actually happens to your body. It's a true medical condition, is what I'm trying to say, and we should treat it as such. It's all about balance, and it's all about loving each other through it. Also, am I saying that the person who has misophonia is actually being invaded? Are they actual victims? Are they being tortured? They're being tortured, but it's not by that person. It's by their own brain and body that's betraying them. So I'm not saying they are victims of people, because honestly, most triggers are the most innocent things in the world. Like someone whistling or singing or humming or skipping or tapping their fingers, blowing bubbles with their gum. I don't know. These are triggers. These are common triggers. And they seem so innocent and sweet and cute and whatever. And the person with misophonia, the misophonia having legend, is feeling like they're being attacked, like a war is happening around them. And so it's a really big overreaction to something so small and innocent. So it really is confusing to people who don't have it. So I hope that helps you understand a little bit about what it feels like to have misophonia and my thoughts on it feeling like an attack, even though it isn't. It's just your brain is basically attacking you, and it's triggered by something that's out of your control. Now, I hope we all can learn more about this. I'm going to share my own misophonia story soon, and some fun, adorable, cute, hilarious stories about having misophonia. Woo! And I hope you join me for them. And I do have actually some kind of funny stories, even though it can be like debilitating at times having misophonia. But there's so much hope, you guys. I want you to join me on this. If you need some hope and you have misophonia and you feel like there's no hope in the world, there is. And I have it pretty bad. I've never actually met someone who has misophonia as bad as I do, but I have so many coping mechanisms now, and I have such a beautiful, wonderful life. I have 2 beautiful children, a wonderful husband who understands to a certain extent what I'm going through and who's protective of that part of what I'm dealing with. And there's hope out there. You won't always just be in your room crying, unable to be with other people. There's a lot of hope. So much more to come. What other videos about misophonia do you want to hear and talk about? Start the conversation down below. There's so much hope. We've got this. You've got this. God bless you guys, and I'll see you soon in the next one.